Well, welcome everybody to this episode of the Libraries Open podcast. I'm very excited because today we have special guest Bruce Barnett. Welcome, Bruce.
Well, thank you. Glad to be
And
here.
yeah, thank you. So, if you don't know, Bruce is the co-founder of SiMPL Technologies and the co-founder and director of the MindCare Store and does some really great work with the Alzheimer's community. So, we are going to get into that right now. So, Bruce, why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got involved with this specific type of work? What was your personal connection to it?
My personal connection was my father-in-law was took a long, long, long time to be diagnosed with what we in the family knew to be true, which was whether he had dementia or Alzheimer's. We didn't know. You can't know the facts of Alzheimer's, at least back at that time. Uh, but we did feel that he had deep dementia, and no neurologist would diagnose him with that. And every time I took him to a neurologist, they would say, "There's nothing we can do. There's nothing wrong with him because he passes all the tests. Draw a clock. Remember three words. He could do those things still at that point, but they always insisted that there's nothing that we could do about it." And my children got very much involved with the Alzheimer's Foundation to seek help, to questions, and what happens when he gets into moods, and how to handle his aggressive behavior. And they wanted to know how they could give back to the foundation, and the foundation said money. So my kids were really just still kids. They were just in college or getting out for their first and second year out of college. And they put together a networking party in New York City, and they had probably about 500 people there, and they gave away prizes and they raised some nice money. And the foundation thought this was a great idea. So they started having parties all over the United States, in Los Angeles, Boston, Nashville was a big one, Palm Beach, New York was always the biggest. And they needed somebody from our family to be there. And my kids weren't in that stage of their life that they could do it. So I said I would do it. And that was great. And I became very close with the foundation, who eventually gave me a consulting contract to take a look at how to design assisted living residences for Alzheimer's patients only, because at the time in America we had a tremendous amount of foreclosures, and people were foreclosing on hotels and trying and offering them to be assisted living, and we needed some rules on what assisted living for Alzheimer's should look like. So I got very much involved with Alzheimer's, and how to make a or take care safely of a someone who needs help. And with that, I saw that there was a great need in America to find products for caregivers with Alzheimer's, dementia, memory loss, to make their lives easier and make the patient's life easier. And with that, we created a website, and I worked with the people that wrote what I consider the Bible of this industry, which is How to Alzheimer's Proof Your Home. And we took a lot of the products that they talk about in this book, and but never told you where to get them. And we put them all on a website called MindCare Store, and created this outlet in America and around the world for people to find these type of products. And today that was back in 2012. The need has grown, and the amount of products we handle has grown. It's way over my head, and my son-in-law runs the MindCare Store. So it really is a very much a family endeavor, although they all have their own careers.
That's so wonderful that, you were able to do this out of, something that was a personal connection to you and that, your whole family's involved. And with that, I kind of want to get more into the Mind Care Store and kind of talk about specifically some of the products that you offer there and some of the resources that you provide to the community. Could you tell us a little more about that?
Sure. At the MindCare store, we probably have over 700 products from all different stages of a person's journey into dementia or Alzheimer's or any type of memory loss. It's good for, so many different people that are on the spectrum or any senior. We continually find new products that maybe you can find someplace else. In a lot of cases, we actually develop the products and own the products. We have people around the world that used or created products for people in their families and then don't know how to have the money to market them, the wherewithal to market them, and they come to us and we market them for them. So a lot of the things that we have are very, very simple. Example, this is the puzzle. Okay. What's different than any other puzzle? The difference is it doesn't say on it, for people of ages 3 to 5. It is nicely made so that it can be wiped off. It's not the edges are not going to fray. But one of the things that you can see is there's a border here. There's a border around the puzzle. So it's not that difficult to figure out where to put the pieces. In a normal puzzle, you have to start with making the border, and which is the most difficult part. These are supposed to be easy puzzles that people who are having difficulty can do and manipulate. And we have a lot of puzzles that don't infantilize people that they find beautiful. So puzzles is one thing. The products that I brought with me today, I curated for the libraries of America because that is a campaign and something that we're working on, which is to put products in all libraries throughout America and programs for that also. And to that end, we've worked over the past 2 years with two lead consultants in the library community, Stephen Abrams and Brian Pitchman. And together we put together a booklet, 3 booklets that are free on our website. And if we haven't already said it, and we'll probably say it a couple of times, the website is mindcare.com. And you can find these particular products on mindcare.com/libraries. But this is a book that's free. You can download it. And in it, we have over 40 programs. And the programs might be cognitive stimulation therapy program for adults with memory issue. It describes the program, the potential audiences, the goals, how long each program should be when you do it in the library, and type of products that you might need to do the program. There are over 40 programs in this book. Another book that's there is FAQs. So these are the priority questions that people in libraries, questions and answer for people in libraries for their entire staff, and they should read this and they'll become much, much more educated. It's all in one place, and it's definitely directed towards the library community. And the third book that we have on our site, again for free, is a book of posts. So we have graphic posts. We have 52 of them. You can dial down, so you can download and paste every week a different post that goes out on your weekly newsletter. So it makes it very, very simple for a library. People look forward to seeing this, and the posts are there to couple with your library as to bring people into the library, into the different programs that you might be having there. Some of the products that I brought with me today, and I'm going to stand up and you see my pretty face, but I'll show you the product. This first one is in reference to music therapy. We think music therapy is probably the number one thing, number one type of program that you can communicate with all seniors, people with Alzheimer's, dementia, any type of memory loss, because as they are losing their memory or ability to have short-term memory. The long-term memory is very, very acute, and music brings back those memories. So, example, if a person grew up in the time of Frank Sinatra, you could be playing Frank Sinatra music, and they will bring back those memories and make those feelings come alive. So I'm going to just show you this right now. Oh, let's see. This is here. There. This is the music player. Okay. This is something. This is. Let me see if I can get this right. This music player looks like it's retro. It looks like it's old fashioned. You say, what's so special about it? It was designed in England. It came out of a study from a college at Cambridge University. People were studying how to, what's the best way to handle music for people with Alzheimer's dementia. The study didn't show how to actually formalize the product. It just showed us the types of things that are necessary. So, example, what's necessary? As you notice, there are no buttons. Sorry that this is, yeah, there we go. There are no buttons. There are no dials, really. It's very simple to use. The user, which I'm not suggesting that the user is the caregiver. I'm suggesting that the user is somebody with Alzheimer's dementia, memory loss, a senior citizen, someone that might have had a stroke even and can't use their fingers or manipulate their hands that well. But it's all they have to do, and they can do it with their elbow, they can do it with their nose, is all they have to do is lift the lid, and it plays music. This is music that we've programmed into this player, but you have the ability to program in anything you want. If you don't want to hear this song, stop it. And if you want to hear it again, it starts exactly where it ended. If you want to go on to the next song, just press the button. And the next song. Now, on the back are just two outlets. You put a pin in it or a pen, and you can raise or lower the volume. It's done that way so that the person using it cannot do that, only the caregiver. In the back, we also have a port where you can download from a computer and then download songs from a computer and upload any songs that you want. So that is our music player. When I say ours, we help create it, market it. We're the exclusive MindCare is the exclusive marketer of it in North America and Canada, along with the manufacturer's rep, SiMPL, which is who we are also. And it come it. What do I want to say about it? It's pretty non-destructible. It's beautiful. And oh, I know what I wanted to say. That the Smithsonian Institute put together a program about 3 or 4 years ago for the 62 best products for people with disabilities in New York at the Cooper Hewitt Museum. The music player was picked to be one of those products, and it then went on tour around the country to all the Smithsonian Institute's museums throughout the country. So it's very well regarded, and it's a fantastic product. Another product for people that are not as, depending on what stage of Alzheimer's they're in, or maybe they could just be in seniors, and it's also very, very good for a library, is this product that we developed called the SiMPL Music Player. And what it is it's both a music player like I showed you a minute ago, but it's also a radio. And you can program many channels, but you can have it selected to just one channel. So we find that a lot of seniors like to listen to business news. So it can be set to that. Uh, Whereas the music player needs to be plugged in, and it's usually put on a dinner table or a cocktail table or right next to someone's bed. The music radio can be in a library setting, not plugged in because it operates on batteries also, and both of them use headphones. So people can come to the library, find a nice leather chair, sit and relax, listen to this simple music radio or music player. Now, things that you could do with these two products in a program. Uh, and why they would come to a library are very different. So in with the simple music player, let's get it right. You could have a group of people sitting around you, and somebody from the library staff will lead it, and will play "Name That Tune," and is all they do. I mean, you can the library a person can program this thing with 10 songs from the 60s or Frank Sinatra or the big band era or gospel music, depending on whatever the audience is that they're going to be talking to. Especially with the outreach programs, you're going to be could be going to churches, you could be going to assisted living facilities of a certain denomination of some sort. So depending on what that is, you'll program your music. But in this case, just to show you how it works, it's just name that tune. You've got 5 seconds to name that tune. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, who's got it? Who's got the name? And people raise their hand or not raise their hand. Okay, I'm going to give you another 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. All right, and that's the way that program works, and people absolutely love it. Okay, they get prizes and so forth. But other things you can do with it is you can have a dance, and they're sitting in their chairs. And I've actually seen I saw one woman early on who was catatonic. She did not move. She did not speak. And we put the music on to play for her. And before you knew it, her feet were tapping. They were moving. And we were just sitting there crying. And within a month, this woman was totally conversing with all the people in the assisted living around her. It was an amazing thing what music brought out in her. But you can play a song and say, "Where were you when that song was first?" When you first heard the song. Let's say it was a Beatles song, "I Want to Hold Your Hand." I can remember when I was 12 years old. I can tell you exactly, when I first heard it and the girl I was going out with. Um, you know, and people will sit there and you'll say, what's the song? They'll say, "I Want to Hold Your Hand." Where were you? Well, I was at a dance, and who did you dance with? And well, I met this woman, this girl, and they're reminiscing now, and they're talking something, because number one thing about Alzheimer's, dementia, and memory loss, and for all seniors, is loneliness. Loneliness is, you're in your home and your family thinks that everything is fine because you're not falling down or whatever, but they leave you alone in your home. The library is there to draw them out, to give them a reason to come out of their house, give the caregiver a reason to bring them out of their house and do something with them. Because being a caregiver is probably one of the toughest jobs in the world, because people ask you over and over and over again the same questions, and you have to try and fill their time and fill the void and get them going and treat them with self respect. Uh, so mental games are a big part of what we work with. This is called a toolbox of these are probably all just cards or games that you can play, and that can be loaned out at a library. You can buy it yourselves, but mental games are a big deal. Uh, this is a game called Call to Bind. It's only sold in Europe. We're probably some of the only people that sell it in the United States, and it's been a big winner for us. People absolutely love this game. going back to, a Monopoly game or a life game of life, any of the board games. This is a board game that deals with memory loss. Uh, and another game is, and we have a whole series of these. This is Lang O Learn. These are, 20 beautiful real life photographs, let you create language lessons to fit your needs. It helps you remember things. Um, this is another game that we play when we go to the library. It's called Thumb Ball, and this is a soft, squishy ball, very inexpensive. And on each one of these places, it says something like best Italian food, uh, concert or play I went to here. So you take the ball and you throw it. You're sitting in a circle and you throw the ball around, and wherever whoever the recipient is, wherever their thumb lands or fingers land, however you choose, they need to talk about what it is. And so it's dexterity. It gets motion going, but it also brings them out and talking. And when one person talks, that doesn't mean no one else can talk because other people chime in, and before you know it, you're not tossing the ball as much, but you're just having conversations, which is a big deal. Having conversations are a big deal. uh, Another thing that really came out of the pandemic was during the pandemic, prior to the pandemic and even now, people bring dogs and cats and so forth into uh, into assisted living residences, and this is our Medicat. It says on the box Medicat. And you can look at his eyes and they're light up. This is the AI. You can teach them. He's not going to do anything now because I haven't programmed him. I just took him out of the box to show you. But his eyes are lit up. You can use a cord, and so you don't need batteries. So it's chargeable. I don't know if you saw the cord. Uh, it's a cord. You don't need batteries. It's chargeable, and it'll meow. You can teach it to lift its. You can teach it to lift its leg, roll over. There are about 10 different tricks you can teach the Medicat, including his name, and he'll only answer to that, or she will only answer that particular name. Um, so. Do you have any questions?
I just want to say that I am so inspired by all these products. I mean, just going back to the music for a second, I mean, just again, talking about the power of music and memory to bring people back to something that happened decades ago. And that story you told about the woman who was tapping her feet and then, you know, speaking in a month. I mean, that's just so incredibly inspiring. And I just think that this could all have such a profound impact, on communities, especially with, more and more libraries being able to offer these products um, to their users. It's just really, really, really amazing.
I think that's our goal. Brian Pitchman and Steve Abrams and I, spent at least a year uh, putting these programs together for free on our website to be given any library that wants to download it. In some cases, total library systems have contacted us and are asking for their sub libraries to do that. In many cases, providing the money for them to do it, but they can for free download these programs, understand what goes into building a library program, because if you build the program, they will come. And when people come to the library, you need more money, and you deserve more money because you're helping your community. And the senior programs is really where a library should provide those programs for the community, not just the senior centers or the assisted living facilities, which are all outreach programs, but right in the library, they can find a place to put a few chairs and be able to do it, or create an entire room for it. And once people and caregivers get more involved with our website and our programs at mindcare.com, they will see things that make their lives a lot easier, including a self portable, a cell phone with no numbers on it. It's just pictures of six of their best friends. Because when you get older, you're not calling that many people. And then when they receive a call, if their friend's picture doesn't show up, don't answer it because it's probably a bogus call. Uh, and we have, one of our biggest products is telephones, not only landlines, but lines for VoIP over the computer and cell phones. We have watches that can track you as well. The cell phone can also track you so that if you're carrying the cell phone or if you're wearing a watch, somebody can know exactly where you are because people get lost quite a bit. Um, but they're just a tremendous amount of products that can be helpful, which brings us back to originally how I got involved. When sitting with a neurologist in 1991 and not having my father-in-law diagnosed with Alzheimer's or dementia, whatever they said it was, until 2003. There was a 12-year span where we absolutely saw him going downhill, and no doctor would make a recommendation or help us. They literally, when they told me that they said he probably has dementia or Alzheimer's, and I said, "What do I do about it?" And they said, "Nothing." I said, "What do you mean nothing?" They said, "Nothing. Go home and forget about it." I said, "Well, do I tell my wife? Do I tell my mother-in-law?" And they said, "No. Why? There's nothing you can do about it. Why stress them out? Just forget about it. There's nothing you can do." And I I tested that over the years, including having a neurologist to my home, serving him lunch, and discussing all the things that I was doing with these products. And he knew nothing about these products, nothing. And but this is something you can do about it. It's not going to reverse dementia. It's not going to change the course, but it's going to make their life a whole lot easier, less stressful for both the caregiver and the person that's going through it. And that's what we're trying to do, to give everybody a better life while they're going through a situation that, hopefully one day we're going to be able to do something about. It seems like we're getting towards that right now with some of the drugs that are coming on the market that might be able to delay the buildup of amyloids in the brain. So uh, there are things you can do, and libraries are a great place to start with getting knowledge and having products and sharing those products in programs.
Absolutely. And, I think you just hit the nail on the head with that. It really is the place to start for sure. And I know we're getting to the end of the podcast, but I just wanted to ask, I know you spoke at computers and libraries this past year, and do you know, will you be appearing at any library conferences in 2025?
Uh, I personally probably will not be unless they're close to home, and I live in Florida and I live in Long Island. In the last conference I went to was last spring in San Diego for 4 days, and I was able to meet with the Nebraska library system and some people from the Long Island library system, and they all said to me that. Going to these conferences is great. However, podcasts are the best way to reach our target audience, and that they would help me do that. They would help me do podcasts like this, and probably that's more my future. But that's not to say that I won't have an emissary going out to, to speak directly to people. I know our company has reached more than we're specific into this area. We want to be involved in the library area. We want to be involved with the senior community. So we're going to just keep on doing what we're doing. And right now, with your help, it'll be podcasts so that when anybody goes on YouTube or any of these other social media things and tries to look up Alzheimer's, dementia, libraries, whatever, they're going to find your podcast and they're going to find us.
Well, thank you again for taking the time to be on our podcast. And yeah, we are going to spread the word to all of our library friends because I think this is should be a service offered in every library. I really do. And thanks for all the work that you've done. And yeah, just thanks for being here again. We really appreciate it.
Okay, and we made it very easy for them to find us. It's mindcare.com, but an easier way to get right to the products and the booklets that are specific to libraries is mindcare.com/libraries. It
Yes,
takes you right there.
perfect. And we're going to share all the links in our description to the website and the products that you talked about so everybody can find it. Super easy.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks so much, Bruce.
All
Have a
right,
great day.
bye-bye.
All right. Bye.